ride up a hill. That's all I use them for. I don't want to ride mules much. But I use them like I used little girl yesterday. I rode her. We was on that ridge. It's basically a roller coaster. You go up and you go down. You'll ride level for a little while, not too long, before you're going down again. And then you're going up again. So I rode a little girl up. I rode her up all day long, and that's what allowed me to go 33 miles. I would have never made 33 miles if I had to walk it, because I could get on her whenever we were going up. I just walked the level ground and the downhill stuff. And I rode her on the uphill. And that's why we did 33 miles yesterday. So that's the way I use a mule. I don't ride them because it's a pleasure, because it's not. Not for me, it's not. They're just they're too convoluted. They're just not comfortable to ride. Not for me. So I don't ride them for comfort. I ride them out of necessity. In that context, it works out pretty good. You got to ride a mule, you got to saddle on them, and so they don't work as hard as the pack mules. They're carrying a load when you're going uphill, but when you're on level ground or going down, there's nothing on them. So the saddle mule has an easier time. And so if you got good versatility in your string, if all your mules are rideable, you can ride all of them, then you can switch them in and out of that riding spot, and they get a rest from that pack, which keeps your overall energy of your string at a higher level. And so you're operating with higher energy, which it gives you the energy to do the job. It takes energy to do the job of moving and traveling in these mountains every day. And the higher your energy is, the easier it is, the more distance you cover, and overall you're better off. So all in all, it works out pretty good that way. Now, if you had a horse would be much better to ride for sure. But they're the weak link in the chain. They're the ones that set the. If you have a horse will set the pace and the agenda of your life, of your day. And a horse can't hold up like a mule. They don't have the stamina. They don't have the toughness, the durability. And so with a horse, it's a different world. And I prefer the world with a mule rather than a horse, even though a horse would be much nicer to ride. If I had a horse, I'd probably sit in the saddle a lot more than I do. But it's not worth the trade. The versatility, the toughness, the durability that the mule gives far out exceeds the what I'd get from having a horse, which would be more rideability, more of a pleasure to ride the horse. But I'm willing to go without that, because the versatility I get from having mules, all mules, is so much higher, so much better, that I prefer that. Yeah, I prefer that. So that's how we do it. After 31 years, that's how we see things. That makes sense. As stubborn as they are, They're stubborn, they're convoluted, they're uncooperative. That's the mule. That's the way they are. You don't get around that. You just have to deal with it and keep your patience and understand that's the way they are, because they can sure get you angry. They can sure get you angry. Yeah. Mules are the way they are. That mule there, I've had her for 30 years. She's still going. Still doing the job. We came down a hill yesterday. It was steep. It was a trail. Left the road and took the trail down. And it was steep. And she did it like she always does it. Did the job. Did the job. If I had 3 mules like her, I'd think about taking over the world. Yep, if I had 3 mules like her, I'd very seriously contemplating of conquering the world. But I don't, so I ain't gonna try it. But maybe I will before I die. Maybe I will get 3 mules like her. Yeah. Then we'll conquer the world. Won't we? Huh? Yeah, here, this is the mule. Look at this. Look. Ah, jeez. I had to drag her all the way back to camp. That's the mule. They just pull and yank. Drag you all over the damn place. That's life with a mule. If you're gonna have mules, you better get used to it. Especially when you're out here in the bush. Because there's always something for them to eat. There's grass on the ground, there's always something they're going for to eat. And they just pull and drag you and yank you. That's the way it is. If you got them, if you're moving around in a horse trailer or you're going from a horse show and it's nothing on the ground but dust, sawdust, then you know they move around okay because there's nothing for them to eat. But when you're out here in the real world, there's ground, there's grass at their feet, there's grass to the left, grass to the right. There's always something for them to eat. They just constantly yank and pull you to death. And you better like it. Oh, you don't like it, but you better get used to it, because that's the way it is. That's the downside to the mule.